A man named Ish lives alone in a quiet forest house, and one morning he goes to a quarry for pyrite and ignores his mother call. While working, he gets bitten by a snake, and he panics because his phone slips and falls down the hill. He cuts the bite area with a knife and sucks out venom, then rushes home, drinks water, and collapses delirious. Hours later, his hand swells badly, and he hears a helicopter and knocking, but he cannot move or speak. In the evening, he crawls for water, spills it, and ends up licking it from the floor while calling his mother. A text arrives from his mother saying, "We love you." And many days later, Ish wakes up recovered and shocked. He cleans his car and drives out, and it takes a few tries before the engine finally starts. He reaches town and sees empty streets, then stops after finding a rotting body lying on the road. Military cars are everywhere, and more dead people sit inside vehicles, which makes the silence terrifying. A road sign says a global pandemic happened and the US government has been suspended completely. Ish turns on the radio and hears warnings that the virus is lethal and everyone must stay inside. Ish reaches his family home and finds both parents dead, and he breaks down in grief. He buries them in the backyard, kisses his mother's forehead, and says goodbye with shaking hands. Ish searches the town again and finds many bodies inside the church, which destroys his hope. He gathers supplies, including a gun, and drives to the bridge, but finds it blocked. He screams in frustration, then takes another road and reaches Las Vegas, which is also empty. He searches buildings, finds no survivors, and takes a break inside a jacuzzi to breathe. Later in a bar, he drops a glass after hearing a voice, and suddenly two strangers appear. They are Milton and Anne, and they say they are immune and got trapped here at the start. Milton shows an announcement on his phone, and Ish learns the virus is new and unexplained. Vaccines failed, people panicked, and governments lost control until the virus collapsed society everywhere. Ish admits his parents mentioned a sickness earlier, but he never imagined it became this deadly. Milton and Anne believe only a handful of survivors exist now across the entire world. Anne cries as she remembers watching her husband and daughters die on a video call. Ish walks away to the elevator but realizes he has nowhere to go and sleeps on the floor. Next morning, Anne tries on expensive clothes and Ish questions if being alive even matters now. Anne says her heart beating does not mean she feels alive, and those words hit Ish hard. At breakfast, Ish learns Milton's wife died here in the hotel and his eyes look empty. Ish announces he will leave soon and storms away, and Milton follows to stop him. Milton shows food and a generator, then reveals a gun and a dark agreement with Anne. He says when food runs out, they will self-delete because life feels pointless to them. Ish argues resources could last a decade, but Milton says love and meaning already died. Before leaving, Ish asks Anne to come with him, and she refuses, but kisses him anyway. Ish pushes her away, then walks out, and soon he hears two gunshots behind him. Furious and broken, Ish speeds down the road and nearly hits a dog, but stops just in time. He takes it as a sign, names the dog Lucky, and brings him along for company. Ish stops at a library and collects survival books because knowledge becomes his only anchor. With no better plan, he returns to his old house and starts a new life with Lucky. 1 year later, Ish is still alive, but the loneliness keeps crushing his mind slowly. He stays busy with chores and exercise, yet sometimes he drives in circles feeling insane. One morning, Lucky barks, and Ish sees smoke in the distance and rushes to investigate. He drives to town and follows the smoke until he reaches a specific house nearby. A woman appears on the roof holding a gun but lowers it after Ish explains everything. Her name is Emma, and she invites him inside and shares tea and bread with him. They talk easily, and when Ish tries leaving, Emma asks him to stay the night. Next morning, Ish asks her to live with him so they do not face the world alone. While Emma explores the house, Ish removes a noose he once prepared when he felt hopeless. Emma notices rats in the pantry, so they go back to town for supplies together. At the store, they ignore the horrible smell of bodies and rats while gathering food. Days pass, and they form a routine planting vegetables, fishing, and learning to survive daily. Animals roam streets freely now because humans no longer control anything in town. Emma gives Ish a haircut and he builds a chicken coop, hoping to build a farm. Over time, their bond turns intimate and both feel human again despite the ruin. When Ish's car runs out of gas, he siphons fuel from other cars in town. He also builds solar panels on the roof and works tirelessly to improve their life. One morning, he slips from the roof and falls badly and his ankle gets injured. Emma helps him inside and cares for him while confessing she misses more people. Later, she cries over old family photos while Ish sleeps, and the grief feels endless. When Ish recovers, he immediately starts building again because work keeps him sane. Emma announces she is pregnant, and Ish panics about raising a child after apocalypse. He searches the library for childbirth books while rats run around the shelves. Months later, their farm grows well with many vegetables and even a few chickens. Emma says she needs protein, so Ish agrees to hunt despite fear and guilt. He finds cows and hesitates, then shoots one apologizing before cutting meat by instructions. He brings the meat home in a cooler, and they feel both ashamed and grateful. Soon, Ish finishes the solar panels, and the house gains power, and the fridge works again. Emma interrupts happiness by revealing a huge rat in the basement that she drowned. She says traps were too small, and Ish realizes bigger danger is coming toward them. Looking outside, they see hundreds of rats taking over town and moving toward the house. Ish understands trash attracts them, so he burns everything outside in desperation. He even burns what remains of the cow because the rats will not stop coming. Emma shoots rats that get close while Ish works, and fear spreads like fire. They run inside and seal doors, windows, and holes while pouring bleach into the toilet. Suddenly, they hear Lucky crying outside and realize they forgot him during panic. Ish opens the door, quickly grabs Lucky, and runs back, but some rats slip inside. Ish fires bullets, but misses because rats move non-stop, so he switches tactics fast. He smashes them furiously with his gun until the room finally becomes quiet again. Afterward, Emma treats Lucky wounds, and Ish fears losing Emma during childbirth soon. Emma confesses she gave birth to 2 daughters without problems, but lost family to virus. Months later, the rat problem eases because feral cats hunt them in streets. The couple unseals the house and finally breathes free under open sky again. That day, Emma feels contractions, but the baby's shoulder comes out first, and danger rises. Ish tries finding the book, but Emma yells and guides him to fix position. She corrects the birth until the head comes first, and the delivery succeeds safely. They welcome a healthy baby girl, and hope returns to their broken world. Emma paints their address on a wall in town, inviting any survivors to find them. A mysterious person watches from a distance, and the message spreads into the wild. 6 years later, Ish drives alone and accidentally hits a lion on the road. He grabs his gun to mercy kill it, but notices someone watching from the woods. Ish runs after the person and tries grabbing her, and she fights back in fear. He steps back, swears he means no harm, and says he has food and survivors. The girl screams and runs away, and Ish returns to his truck and sees the lion gone. The girl has been following him, and she accepts an apple and climbs into the truck bed. Ish takes her home, where Emma and Ish now have 2 kids, Heather and Alex. 2 more survivors live with them named Jorge and Maureen, and Emma is pregnant again. Everyone is kind, but the girl stays silent and sleeps in the truck at night. Ish assumes she has PTSD because she does not speak or trust anyone yet. Next morning, Maureen brings breakfast, but the girl startles and the dish falls. The girl grabs Maureen's wrist, and Maureen notices they share the same scars. Maureen shows scars on her chest and offers her hair for the girl to touch gently. This builds trust, and Maureen convinces the girl to take a bath and clean up. Meanwhile, Ish and Jorge go to woods and find 2 crude cabins with graves. Maureen searches the girl's belongings and finds creepy drawings and a letter. The letter reveals her name is Evie, and Maureen uses the name to reach her. Evie responds to the name, accepts clean clothes, and chooses a room to sleep. In the evening, Maureen shares the letter with everyone, and they read it quietly. Evie's mother begged someone to protect her because the father abused her after pandemic. The mother was sick and could not stop it, so she begged strangers to save Evie. The group agrees to welcome Evie into their family and give her safety now. Soon, Emma gives birth to a baby boy named Joey, and the house feels fuller. 1 year later, the intruder alert sounds, and the adults grab guns and investigate. They meet an armed woman named Molly, and after tension, they lower weapons. Molly introduces friends Gene, Ezra, and Rafe, and they all walk to the house. Maureen recognizes Gene as a famous musician, and the newcomers seem friendly. They came from Oregon and left due to a flu outbreak in their region. Emma lets them stay in the neighboring house, but Ish stays suspicious and alert. Next day, they go for supplies, and Ish sets strict rules for safety. Kids stay behind, and Molly asks for medicine, but Ish says it is all gone. In town, they see a buffalo on the street, and Ish tells them to ignore it. The group splits, and Molly breaks rules and goes to the hospital alone anyway. She finds disgusting bodies, and Gene collects alcohol while Ezra finds a guitar. When they reunite, they notice Molly is missing, and Ish grows angry. Molly faces a feral dog and scares it with a fire extinguisher. She uses the extinguisher to break a lock and finds a backup medicine stash. When she returns, Ish scolds her, but stops when he sees the medicine amount. That night, John sings by bonfire with her guitar, and Ezra tells bad jokes. Afterward, Jorge shares favorite memory with Maureen, and they sleep together. In the kitchen, Jean gets drunk, and Molly checks on her quietly. Jean admits she drank because she is trying to terminate her pregnancy secretly. Molly promises not to tell Ezra, and time passes with the groups living together. Jean baby is born healthy, and soon Maureen has her own child too. 14 years after the pandemic, they live as one big family and celebrate Heather's birthday. Ish takes Joey to the library often because he wants books to survive in memory. One day, wind blows hard, rain starts, and Ish and Joey hurry home quickly. They secure everyone inside, but discover Lucky is missing outside in the storm. Ish searches and finds Lucky killed by a fallen tree, and grief returns. Emma joins him, and they cry together, holding the body in silence. Next day, they bury Lucky in the garden, and the kids feel the loss deeply. Later, Ish watches kids play when a mountain lion appears in bushes. Ish tells kids to run and jumps in front, and the lion attacks him brutally. Evie finally screams for help after years of silence, and her voice shocks everyone. Adults rescue Ish and rush him to the hospital area to treat injuries. Molly guides them because she is a doctor, and she gives Ish CPR to stabilize. She stitches wounds and saves his life, while Emma hunts the lion for revenge. Emma finds the lion and shoots it multiple times until it finally stops moving. When Ish wakes, Molly admits she is not a full doctor, just a student dropout. Ish still trusts her skill, and later he walks again and returns to family. By year 17, Joey becomes an excellent fisher and Ish feels proud, which hurts Alex. Heather and Rafe are old enough to collect supplies alone, and they feel curious. They date and want to see the world, so parents finally let them go. They pack a car with supplies and guns and leave to explore far away. Later, Ezra notices plants are too dry and Evie cannot get faucet water. She gets nervous and breaks the handle, and fear spreads through the kitchen. They check the reservoir and find water is gone because drought hit the area hard. Pipes are rusted broken, and without rain, they have only 1 week left. They see 2 vehicles passing and rush home, fearing possible dangerous strangers. Charlie and Perry arrive with a canteen as peace offering and speak calmly. Charlie says his group found a drill near Nevada and drilled wells since then. He offers knowledge, and Emma opens the gate, and both groups share a meal. Ish trades spare fuel for a well, and Charlie begins digging immediately. The drilling will take about 72 hours, and everyone watches with hope. Ish and Charlie hunt together, and Charlie suddenly shoots behind Ish just to kill. Charlie says he practiced a lot, and not only on deer, which feels threatening. At dinner, Charlie shows scars and stares at Evie, and Ish notices discomfort. Ish warns Alex not to help Charlie, but Alex thinks Ish is unfair and ignores. Ish tells Emma concerns, but Emma says he is paranoid and should relax. Charlie struggles through rock layers, but finally the drill pushes through and continues. Ish watches his family bonding with Charlie group and feels anger and fear. Ish goes walking in woods to clear mind but gets lost and returns late. That night, Charlie shares cigarettes with John and pushes liquor, but she refuses. Charlie gets pushy and Jorge steps out and Charlie backs off reluctantly. Emma worries about Ish, but he returns and she scolds him for disappearing. Ish admits he fears what happens after water comes and people want power again. Next day, the drill goes deep enough and water bursts out and everyone cheers loudly. Ish tells Charlie to take fuel and leave, but Charlie says he likes this place. After well installation, they throw a party, but Ish feels danger rising closer. Emma asks Perry where they go next, and Perry says Charlie really likes it here. That night, Ish hears a woman scream and sees Charlie leaving Evie Cottage. Silas was keeping watch, and Charlie ignores Ish and goes to the RV. Perry is angry too, and Ish finds Evie crying because Charlie took advantage. Ish family discusses what to do and realizes Charlie will return if spared. They decide they must kill him, and people argue about murder versus self-defense. They vote, and everyone says yes except Horsey until Maureen insists, and he agrees. Ish confronts Charlie, asks him to leave, but Charlie refuses and insults him. The family surrounds Charlie, and Ish hits him with a hammer-on head. Ish keeps smashing until Charlie is dead while repeating, "We had to do it." Ezra stops him as Ish loses control, and the group feels shaken afterward. Ish washes blood from the hammer and notes irony that water giver spilled blood. Emma comforts Ish and says he did what he had to protect family. Next morning, they throw Charlie's body into the ocean far away from home. They tell Perry Charlie is gone, but allow her and her people to stay. Perry understands the truth and feels relieved because she was also Charlie's victim. They inform others and Silas gets angry, saying Charlie never changes plans. Corey says it is good Charlie is gone and his group supports that view. Silas calls them cowards and leaves while Ish group holds guns carefully. Alex asks about Charlie and Ish says he hurt Evie and Alex reacts badly. Silas returns asking to stay, but Ish refuses because Silas guarded Charlie crimes. 20 years after the pandemic, Earth heals because humans are no longer everywhere. Joey and Corey build a modified Da Vinci airplane and hope it will fly soon. Everyone is excited except Alex, who stays jealous and angry inside. One evening, Joey feels ill and Ish makes a root concoction to help him. At night, Joey enters sweating and collapses, and Ish runs to find Molly. Corey and others are sick too, and Molly says it moves too fast for cold. She suspects a strain related to the original virus, and Ish argues over choices. Perry arrives saying she is sick too, and soon the whole household helps. Ish sits beside Joey for hours and sees a vision of Charlie watching them. Alex feels ignored and angry because he thinks Ish would not care as much for him. Heather returns home, but Rafe is dead, and she looks haunted and exhausted. She takes a shift watching Joey, but days pass, and Joey never improves. Ish thinks God punishes him for killing Charlie, and guilt consumes him daily. Desperate Ish cuts a hole in the bridge barrier for a bicycle path. He crosses the bridge into the city covered in plants and broken streets. He breaks hospital doors and finds medicine while visions of Charlie haunt him. He visits a chapel and begs God to take him instead of Joey. At the house, Heather tells her story about the journey she took with Rafe. They drove north and saw beaches and rotten towns with no people alive. They found numbers with arrows painted and followed them on buildings, trees, and rocks. The marks never led anywhere, so they camped on a mountain for rest. They heard a noise, and a strange man appeared and ran when Heather chased. Later, the man returned and grabbed Rafe from behind and stabbed him quickly. Heather threw an axe and killed the man, but Rafe died after saying goodbye. She buried Rafe and walked home because the car broke down and she was alone. Hearing this makes Gene drink again because pain never truly disappears here. When Ish returns, he prepares a blood transfusion hoping to pass immunity to Joey. Heather stops him and says extreme moves are too soon and advises caution. She sends him to Molly because Molly made medicine from yew tree. Ish carries Joey to Molly, who says it may take days to work. Ish gives Joey a freezing bath because fever is too high and dangerous. After a few days, most people improve, and Molly says strain is weaker now. Corey asks Heather description of the killer and realizes it was Silas. Corey must choose whether to keep secret or tell the group the truth. The medicine fails for Joey, and he says final words, then dies in bed. Ish brakes and drives away at high speed, ignoring family fear and shouting. He finds the old address sign Emma painted, and he covers it up angrily. He drives into a rage, and later the group buries Joey with others who died. They hold a small funeral, and the family tries to keep living through pain. Emma finds Ish at the library with a match and stops him from burning it. She says everything was already gone before Joey, and Ish still has family to love. Ish returns home, but still does not know how to live again. A few days later, Ish hikes and sees a perfect sunrise and feels calm briefly. He tells the kids he was wrong because the world now teaches them better. Ish says they no longer need old world lessons because nature will guide them. 1 year later, Ish enters Joey's room and finds a diary with a radio diagram. Joey wanted more people and designed a radio with an antenna for communication. Ish decides to honor his son's legacy and tells everyone to build the radio. They install the antenna and it works, but no one answers at first. Ish tries every frequency daily, hoping someone will respond someday. One afternoon, Emma forces a break and they join a baseball game using random objects. Heather wonders why the ball game has numbers, and Ish explains old world loved statistics. Heather remembers the arrow numbers, and Ish realizes they are a frequency code. They rush to the radio, try the numbers, and after silence, someone answers them. A 77-member community is less than 100 miles away in a state park. Ish invites them to join, and hope returns as humanity begins connecting again. 50 years after the pandemic, an old Ish gives his hammer to Heather's oldest son. Ish says his last lesson is men and women come and go, but Earth abides forever. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos. Thanks for watching, and support the channel for more recaps in future.